Plus with editing, we could take anything out. Like that thing I said about vaccines giving autism.
Okay, we're not talking about that anymore.
Okay.
We're talking about Night of Champions.
Yeah, alright, let's start talking about Night of Champions.
But hold on. There is one thing I want to address.
This is the wrestling rundown?
More importantly than that.
Oh, shit.
When I wasn't here for last week's Raw, you replaced me
No.
with Maven. And I just want to say, fuck you, Maven.
Well, first, nature replaced you with my cat, but you're not going to do that to my cat.
No.
Oh, I was convinced Thomas turned into a cat.
I know, I tried to keep that going, but I couldn't hold on to the secret long enough. It was fun while it lasted.
Wolves ain't cats.
Yeah, that's weird. Dogs hate cats.
Don't
eat my cat.
My whole perspective of reality is just gone.
Well, speaking of a different perspective on reality, let's talk about the Lucha Dragons and Neville taking on the Cosmic Wasteland in our kickoff show to Night of Champions.
Fun, flippy guys versus mean, angry guys.
This was... I knew that this match itself was going to be good for the Ascension. It makes them seem so much more dominant than they have been since leaving NXT. NXT was always, the place that they could dominate, and since they've been on the main roster, it's always fallen really flat.
It helps that they were taking on 3 NXT guys.
True. This is true.
Check that out.
But within the confines of it being now all of them are main roster guys, it translates really well. And I think this is a good step for the Ascension.
Can I talk about the triple dive spot?
Yeah.
Lucha Dragons each doing somersault launches.
That was fucking cool.
While Neville hits the springboard moonsault to the outside.
I wasn't sure if that was going to fuck the Lucha Dragons up with their dive through the ropes. But, yeah, I guess it kind of lent itself because with Neville doing the Acai moonsault, pushing the middle rope down, and gave them a bit more...
Well, they went over the ropes.
Did they? I thought they went through the ropes.
Yeah, they all flipped.
I thought they went around the ropes.
That would be awesome, but it didn't happen.
That would be flying.
Yeah. Yes, it would. Cosmic Wasteland ended up picking up the win. Victor ended up stopping the red arrow, and then while Neville was trying to readjust himself,
not his junk.
Stardust ended up sacrificing Victor by shoving him into Neville, knocking him down off the top rope. He ends up setting up...
True supervillain fashion, I might add.
Yeah, using...
Fuck you, henchman.
Using his henchman, and then hitting the Queen's crossbow, and the Cosmic Wasteland picks up the win. I enjoyed the match a lot.
It's actually one of my favorite matches of the night.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Your thoughts?
Everything that I just said was my thoughts.
All right. Thanks. All right, so we open up the actual pay-per-view with Kevin Owens looking to take the Intercontinental title away from Ryback.
And take his eyes out in the process.
Yes. I was surprised that we saw Kevin Owens completely dominate this match. It was all Owens until the very end, and then Owens had to find the loophole through Ryback's eyeballs to pick up the win. Yeah, I was expecting a lot more offense from Ryback, especially with the fact that it was his title that was,
Yeah.
He had his little flurry at the beginning of the match, which to me was the most impressive thing Ryback did the whole time, was he gorilla pressed Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's a big dude.
Over the top rope to the floor. Which at first I was like, wow, I'm really impressed Ryback is gorilla pressing Kevin Owens. But then it's like, wow, I'm more impressed by Kevin Owens for taking that fall to the outside.
Yeah. No, the fall itself was terrifying. As Ryback was attempting to hit Shell Shock, Kevin Owens raked the eyes of... Ah! Ow! You fish. I can't see him.
And then he rolled him up. He rolled Ryback up and got the 1-2-3 and became the new Intercontinental Champion. Then he rolled out of the ring and laughed.
Yep. And then he posted on his Instagram that it was for his son, and that he would let his son play with the title when he got home.
All right.
He did. I've seen it.
All right.
So, Owen, this is for you. You can play with it when you get home.
Yeah.
John's seen it.
John's seen it?
Yeah.
We're not at that yet. We're talking about Rusev telling Rich off. Rich wanted to ask Rusev a question.
He's like, Rusev, excuse me.
No.
You're not excused.
Yeah.
No, I don't need any of your American propaganda.
There was a lot of brushing interviewers off.
Yeah. And Rusev storms off, but then Rich asks Summer Rae, like, hey, are those the earrings that Ziggler gave you? And she's like,
I don't remember.
maybe?
They're just
Just 'cause
earrings.
I've got so many pair.
All right. Hey, Thomas, do you want to talk about your favorite match?
I actually didn't mind this part so much.
See, that's the thing, is the match is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The match is the storyline, whether you like it or not, it's just up to you. The match though,
Right,
the match is gonna be what makes any of this actually worth it. Is the fact that Ziggler and Rusev are great together.
Yeah, I was into the match. The Summer Rae accidentally screwing Rusev bit didn't quite land for me because I'm sitting here thinking, isn't this why I broke up with Lana? Okay, no, we're not going to talk about that. Cool.
Well, no, that's kind of the whole thing. Is that he's remade Lana and now he's having the same thing happen to him. It's Rusev trying to lean on a crutch that just keeps fucking him
and then
over.
throw it around backstage a lot, and then
Fall
throw
on his
it
ass.
and then like jam it in Dolph Ziggler's throat. He's gonna like guillotine.
That'd be weird if he did that with Summer Rae.
Yeah,
That's what I was imagining.
He's gonna just like prop her against Dolph Ziggler's throat and then just slam her.
He's just gonna hold Ziggler and go, now jump.
No, I have a lot of stuff to say about this storyline. This match, I was fine with.
Yeah, the match was great. I liked the end because I just like the fact that
No, I thought it was funny.
Summer Rae was attempting to chuck her shoe at the referee's face, and the referee got out of the way just in time. And
No, like
Rusev just looked at the shoe like, what the fuck?
No, it was funny. It's just that like there was no mention of it being the same thing.
Yeah.
It was just ignored.
I wanted to, like, in my head, I was like, how much of a standstill would the match come to if she hurled the shoe and the heel stabbed into Rusev?
They would have. They probably would have shut the show down. Rusev just bleeding profusely from the stiletto in his chest.
I feel like Ziggler would have still hit the zigzag because he's coming from behind
Yeah.
and wouldn't have saw it.
He hits the zigzag, goes, oh my god! And Ziggler just starts freaking out as like the shoe pops out.
Yeah.
And like just blood spurting everywhere from the hole in Rusev's chest.
Well, that's why Ziggler has to pin him so he can like
Here,
Pressure.
the referee still counts.
Yeah. Ziggler wins.
We just made the end of that match really morbid.
But way better. Like
No, it was.
Way more violent.
I'm not saying whether you like that ending or not. The one we just came up with is better.
In some fucked up reality that actually happened. Then we move on.
Multiverse.
We move on to our tag team title match. The New Day defending against the Dudley Boys.
Great promo before the match.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like their Save the Tables petition signed by Jake from State Farm or Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
And Barack Obama. Everybody's signing the Save the Tables.
The New
I
Day.
I signed to Save the Tables.
Did you?
My name is on the petition.
Cool. The New Day is quickly becoming my favorite. Anytime they're on, it's probably my favorite segment.
It's always funny.
Like, for me, this was the match of the night just because the New Day. I look forward to them so much.
Interesting. Another thing is Xavier Woods sporting Rufio hair.
Yeah. I didn't see Rufio at first. I was just thinking, oh, it's Solomon Crow tonight.
Yeah, like it looked, it was so weird seeing, just, it it looked like he had extra hair on top of all of the hair he already has. So it's just like this monster growing on Xavier Woods' head.
Yeah, the one thing about me is it was uneven. It was like off to one side.
Oh, Rufio's hair is like that though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was having the same issue, but I was like, no, because Rufio doesn't have the perfectly straight. Dudley's end up picking up the win. They hit the 3D on Kofi after. Okay, first off, I want to talk about how Big E almost killed Bubba Ray.
Done?
Hold on though. I want to talk about how Bubba Ray almost broke Big E's neck by trying to superplex him.
That's true. So maybe Big E just had a receipt.
Yeah. Trying to break Bubba's neck by splashing.
He
his
tried
head
to
off.
take Bubba's head off.
He's trying to splash his head.
It was fucked up.
Yeah.
But
Magikarp.
Some
used
serious
slash.
receipts going on in that.
yeah. No, but Bubba and Big E had it out for each other apparently. No children of the post though. So
No, right back up.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was done earlier.
I'm
I'm okay with Ryback getting it.
Dudley's end up picking up the win. They hit the 3D on Kofi. But Xavier Woods like, oh shit, no one in WWE has ever kicked out of the 3D. I better save my partner. So he
kicked out of it. He kicked his partner out of it.
But he wasn't in the match.
So
though.
he kicked his partner out of it.
Yes. Well, yeah, by kicking Bubba in the head.
Yeah. He kicked Bubba,
causing the disqualification.
Therefore, he got his partner out of the hole. He literally kicked Kofi Kingston out, is all I'm saying.
At which point, we've got both the Dudleys are down, and the New Day decide they're going to put someone through the table. They set up the table.
Hypocrites.
How dare you call the New Day
Hippopotamus crates.
That's...
Hippocampus critopotamus.
They're great. I'm calling the New Day crates full of hippopotamuses.
Hippopotami. My bad.
Hippopotamuses.
Yeah, they're attempting to put the Dudleys through a table, but the Dudleys take out Kofi and Big E while Xavier Woods is not aware of what's going on. Yeah.
And then he's just like, wow, the crowd's really getting into this.
And then he gets 3D'd through the table and is just... He took a picture-perfect 3D there.
Yeah.
And he got some wood in his booty.
Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to Raw. Alright, so we have our Divas Championship match up next. Charlotte looking to dethrone Nikki Bella.
As good as this match was, I was not invested at all.
Yep. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I was like, the whole thing was just like, after Raw, I was completely uninvested with the match, emotionally, and then it was the match itself actually brought me back into it,
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, I really don't care because I know Charlotte's going to win, and just whatever. And then as the match progressed, I'm like, okay, well, the match isn't terrible.
Yeah.
And this is what bothers me, is that Nikki, you decided on the night you were going to lose the title to actually be a fucking wrestler.
Yeah.
And, like, do wrestling shit in your match instead of being just there.
Yeah, I mean, so I wasn't here to put my 2 cents in on Raw. So I'm going to mention a thing right now. Is that Raw, the ending to that match being a screwy finish and extending to the pay-per-view, giving Nikki her record reign, would have been fine to me had they just booked her title reign different, and had she actually been winning matches constantly and wrestling good matches. And she doesn't even have to win the matches clean. That's fine.
Yeah, she's healed. She can cheat all she
But,
wants.
If she had just been presented as a champion this whole time.
Yeah, the biggest problem was they took the storyline of the breaking of the Bellas and completely erased that, and they're like, oh, we're gonna put the Bellas back together while one of them is champion. And that doesn't put the focus on Nikki, that puts the focus on Nikki and Brie.
Well, I think that the Divas the way they built the Divas Revolution, in retrospect, feels like it was just a way to artificially extend Nikki's reign without people noticing.
God, I hope not. Fuck that.
Well, because
it makes sense because it made for a lot of times where we could have had Nikki Bella defending the championship end up being matches between the three teams and you know, oh, let's have Sasha versus Paige instead of Nikki versus somebody. Let's have Charlotte versus Tamina instead of Nikki versus somebody.
Yeah. Well, regardless, Nikki finally decided to be a wrestler. She worked over Charlotte's leg really well, which I appreciated. But it was her attempt at a second super chop block that kind of screwed her over because as she came down, she got hit with the spear, and Charlotte locked in the figure 8 and got Nikki Bella to tap out, and Charlotte is our new Divas champion.
Yeah. Like, woo.
So, yeah. It sucks that we had to extend it just 5 more days.
For shits and giggles.
Why?
Yeah.
We should have just had this be Nikki's rematch, so now Nikki doesn't have to worry about the
Also, I
title.
want to take a moment. A lot of people are saying, because there's a lot of rumors going on, that John Cena politicked his way into getting Nikki to break the record. And I just want to take a moment and address the fans who think this. Please do not underestimate Nikki's ability to politic. She's the one who, her and Brie and whatever, are the ones who created Total Divas. They're cash cows in their own right, and they have their own sway, independent of their husbands.
Yeah.
John Cena doesn't need to politic for Nikki to get anything. She's really, really good at doing that on her own. She has way better mouth skills than John Cena.
And with that, we're going to move right along.
Also, John Cena doesn't have a vagina.
That too.
You might.
We're going to move on to our 6-man tag team match.
He does not on him. He just owns one.
The Wyatts taking on the Shield and a mystery partner. For those of
Which
you,
just happened to be Yokozuna.
that's a fucking lie. For those of you that didn't watch our predictions video, we all took a stab at who we thought was going to be the third member. We had Baron Corbin. We had Eric Rowan. And we had Sami Zayn. But it was none of those. And it
I want to say that my guess was the closest.
In what respect?
His pick had a championship once.
No, my guy was someone who wasn't like currently on the main roster and made a big return, and was a high flying guy.
That's fair. It was Chris Jericho. Threw me for a fucking loop. I did not expect
Also
Jericho.
both Canadian.
Alright.
I still go with the fact that Baron Corbin and Eric Rowan never had belts yet.
That's.
Sami
I'm sure
Zayn's
they
got a
own
belt.
belts.
Yeah.
Championship belt.
I'm sure they own replicas.
Again, that doesn't count
Why not?
because they didn't earn them.
They probably worked for the money that they bought it with, so yeah, they did earn it.
And Corbin's doesn't need to count, the fans do it for him.
Oh man. But yeah, this
Corbin's championship belt is just a giant clock.
always stuck it around like 13 seconds. No, Jericho added a whole new dynamic to this match. Like, I was not expecting... So, not only was I not expecting a high-flying guy, I was expecting someone who could, like, physically match Braun Strowman. But instead, we got not only someone who could keep the pace going faster, but also we had legendary status in this match now.
No, it's... Jericho's definitely one that... Like, even though I voted Sami Zayn, I was more realistically thinking they were going to go with someone big and imposing to go toe-to-toe with Braun. But it does make sense, because Jericho's a guy who's been around, who can go against the big guys, who's proven he can beat anyone, and is gonna throw the Wyatts for a loop.
Yeah. And it threw me for a fucking loop. I was super jazzed when he came out.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's the one time where I've been actually glad everyone was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have had a problem with any of the people we guessed, but the fact that it was Jericho, I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm okay with all of us not winning that.
Jericho's back.
Yeah. But it didn't quite work out the way the Shield had hoped.
Silly
Because
Jericho.
Roman was about to finish it. He was just about to hit a spear, and he was going to be done. And Jericho decided to tag himself in and try and take on Braun Strowman by himself. That actually allowed Bray Wyatt to take out Roman Reigns on the outside. Dean Ambrose had already taken himself out diving onto Luke Harper.
Yeah.
And so
Ambrose does that a lot.
Yeah. So Braun Strowman ends up choking Jericho out.
Yeah.
Jericho hit the moonsault, and then he fucking launched him off of him. And yeah, Jericho just...
Yeah, so even though...
Jericho fucked things up, man.
Even if my verbiage isn't quite right and this doesn't build into an extended feud, I still claim that I was right in my prediction that Team Shield was going to win unless they end up feuding with their partner.
So he's going to get a point for that, even though he went for Team Shield and technically lost.
But I still predicted what was going to happen.
I'll make up for that'll make up for the fact that you didn't pick someone out of Rusev and Ziggler.
I really do hope that they do something with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the extent where, you know, Jericho is doing the whole just kind of showing up when he wants to bit.
Yeah, he's doing the what he's calling the Y2J Fall Tour right now. Because he's going to be going on tour with Fozzy again here pretty soon.
Yeah, and letting...
I just want that... I just want to see the one time him versus Ambrose.
Well, and lending credibility to that idea, when the interviewer came up to him, he completely brushed him off. He's like, oh no, I'll answer your question, just let me go get something. And just left.
Yeah. Well, and he shoulder checked Dean Ambrose on the way out. And so it's like, you know, not only did he fuck things up for the team, but then he like...
was a dick about it.
Yeah, he was like, oh, well, fuck you guys, I didn't need this anyway.
But it's okay, because he invented that.
That is true. We had the Authority just before. Seth is going back to back. So good on you, Seth, for pretty much just going through.
He's going back to Sting's back. Too soon?
Yes. We had the Authority tell Seth that he was ready, that this is his moment to shine.
He was pumped.
And then Sheamus goes, yeah, he's ready. And the Authority's
So
like,
am I.
what the fuck?
And they're like, where did you come from?
How did we miss this? Cena versus Rollins for the U.S. title. I'm going to say it easily match of the night. These two fucking just went balls to the wall. And, you know, we always talk about how Cena is the one to step up if his opponent is willing to do that. And the fact that this was Seth's, Seth moment.
Freaking Rollins.
He makes... This is very much like a CM Punk type situation. He makes Cena go to the absolute limit he possibly can.
And I think he's on that moment where he's like, okay, this is my moment. You know, I'm wrestling these two matches back to back, win or lose. You know, I'm going to be out here for some time between 45 minutes to an hour probably. And this is going to help make me the top guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be the new Randy Orton. I'm going to be the new Edge. I'm going to be the new whoever. You know, it's like, I don't want to be outshined by John Cena.
Yeah.
So we saw him pulling out moves that are stuff you would see John Cena do. He deadlift powerbombed John Cena off the apron.
Fucking
he did the
he rolled
the
through.
roll through thing that Cena constantly does.
Yeah.
You know, seeing these things that are definitely not in the daily Seth Rollins repertoire.
Yeah.
Getting busted out on a guy bigger than himself.
And since they were in Texas, he decided to hit the frog splash, Eddie Guerrero territory, which got an anti-chant as soon as...
but he didn't hit it, though.
No.
Yeah.
He decided to hit the ring with a frog
Yeah.
splash.
He tried. But yeah, I mean, Cena really stepped up too, because he wasn't like throughout the match, he was very willing to just take whatever Seth was going to give him.
Well, I think a lot of it also has to do with this was going to be the more physical match of the two.
Yes.
And so Seth wanted to do... So they put more of Seth's usual spots in this match to make up for the fact that Sting versus Seth Rollins was going to be a lot more low energy.
Yeah. And after kicking out of everything, Cena ends up hitting a reverse suplex, goes up, hits the top rope leg drop, and then hits an AA to finish off Seth Rollins and reclaim the U.S. title. And then Rollins decides he's just going to run away.
Yeah.
He grabs the WWE title and starts running, and Cena meets him at the apron, or in the alleyway. He's like, I don't think you're going anywhere because you've got another match coming up because you're supposed to be the man.
Yeah.
And Rollins tries to get around him, and he ends up getting AA'd on the outside.
Yeah.
And
that
then-
was neat.
And
How'd you
yeah.
do that?
and then we got Sting versus Rollins,
Yeah.
and
This match was good to a point.
I liked it.
I think I know the point at
Yeah,
which it stopped being good.
I liked the match, but there was a point where I stopped being into the match and just started worrying.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Sting was definitely out to prove, hey, I know I haven't been in WWE very long. I know I'm getting old. And I know I kind of just walked into this main event match, so I'm going to try and prove that I actually belonged in this main event match. Doing the table spot,
Yeah.
jumping off the top rope to the floor, doing stuff with Seth Rollins, which, I could say probably a lot of 50-something-year-old wrestlers wouldn't be doing with Seth
Yeah.
Rollins.
Definitely. And the fact that he did things like, Seth Rollins shoving him through the announce table, the crossbody off the top rope, those weren't the things that ended up costing him
Yeah.
injury. It was simply Seth Rollins giving him a buckle bomb. And then and we get that weird moment where he hits, and as he tries to walk out, he has to grab the rope to keep himself up.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm going, okay, is he selling? What's going on here? But then, God, I give Sting so much credit because he tried to do that spot. When he went off the ropes, you saw him just limp across the ring. He ducks the clothesline, but he cannot go any further and just crumbles. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if this is just Sting, really getting into it, but it's so.
It was a very worrying situation.
Yeah, and
It had to be a worrying situation because, we watch these guys so often, John Cena, The Shield, the Wyatt family, Seth Rollins, these guys go out and they put on these crazy matches that are so physical and so high impact, and we're used to seeing that. And then we're realizing, oh, here comes a guy who's 55 years old.
and he's trying to do all
And
the
he's
same
trying
stuff.
to do that.
Yeah.
And we realize, oh. And then we see Sting fall down, and we go, oh yeah.
He's 55 years
He,
old.
he's also a person.
Yeah.
He's not a spring chicken anymore.
No.
So we have to worry because, the older you get, the more injury prone you are.
Yeah.
And I appreciated the way that it was handled too, because Seth didn't freak out. He stayed very, very much in character.
Seth is 100% a professional.
Yeah, and he didn't try and overstep his bounds. He didn't try and get in Sting's face at all. the ref backed him up a couple times, which helped.
Yeah.
While the doctor checked on Sting, and eventually Sting got back into it.
Yeah.
And he finished the fucking match.
Yeah, I mean, it ended with he went for the Scorpion Deathlock, and there was a roll-up, which in any other circumstance I would complain about 2 roll-ups in the same night. But probably wasn't the planned finish.
No, you know what? And it makes
worked.
me wonder what, if that wasn't the planned finish, what was.
Something.
Like, I don't know. Regardless of what it was, I give so much respect to all the 3 guys that finished this night.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Sting.
Oh.
All fucking killed it.
Yeah.
All 3 of these guys did an awesome job. They built. It was one long story.
Yeah.
Which was great. And Seth came out looking like $1 million. Sting, despite the injury, proved that he can go way more than people expected. But then we have the
Shamus.
The cash-in attempt.
which is thwarted by,
Fireworks.
of all people, Demon Kane.
Dean Kane?
Demon Kane
Oh, Demon Kane.
makes his return,
D-Man. Kane.
and
Kane is the man. Boop.
he ends up getting chokeslammed by Kane, so the cash-in doesn't.
Yeah, that.
The cash-in
That's
never.
the one thing I would have changed is have him officially cash in, have the bell ring, and then have Kane.
Choke
Do
slam.
his whole thing.
Oh.
You know what? If you cashed in, say if Sheamus cashed in and then Kane came out and chokeslammed him, the match would be over because
Yeah.
Seth Rollins wouldn't get disqualified.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the
Oh,
one
that's-
thing I would have changed. Is
He would have let the bell ring first.
yeah.
Guys, why did he do that?
I just really want to get the briefcase off of Sheamus.
You both do.
Like if Sandow couldn't successfully cash in, I don't want Sheamus to.
Yeah. So, final thoughts. What do you think about Night of Champions overall?
I liked it. Little couple minor gripes, but otherwise I liked it.
Alright. Kevin Hawk?
About the same. Nothing other than the Cena Rollins match really impressed me that much. I feel like there was a lot of lackluster performances for specific people. So I was kind of like, well, maybe they'll do something neat on Raw.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I was entertained from beginning to end. There was a few things that could have gone differently.
Yeah. And also, most of my gripes don't come about like Night of Champions itself, more in just the surrounding storylines and.
But that's it for our Night of Champions review.
There's a playlist.
There is. There's going to be this one. We're going to have our Raw review.
Top.
And then we're going to have some more videos coming out later this week. So be sure to check out all those videos. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Click all of our links in the
Facebook,
description.
Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and email.
And then in the comments, post your intros.
Yeah.
And
We'll
what
try
you...
to edit those in.
Yeah, sure. And what you thought about Night of Champions. And be sure to check out the Raw review and find out what happened the night after.
Hey, if you actually put an intro, like link us to a video of
We'll
you
act out an
doing-
intro.
No, if you link us to a video of you doing the intro, we'll try and put it on as an intro to a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
We'll do that.
If you want to intro
Be
for
a
us,
Fun thing.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
make fun of him during it.
Sure. And we'll see you guys in whatever video you decide to watch next.
He said it's okay.